The rain hammered down on the tin roof of the old school building, drowning the muffled cries coming from a locked classroom. Dami, once a shining beacon of hope and brilliance, sat on the cold floor, clutching her torn uniform. Her body ached, her spirit fractured. She had always dreamed of a better future, of becoming a banker, of escaping poverty, of building a life her late parents would be proud of. But tonight, everything had been taken from her. She stared blankly at the cracked chalkboard, the laughter of her attackers echoing in her ears. 3 men she had trusted, teachers who were meant to guide her, had stolen her innocence and left her hollow. The thunder rolled in the distance, a silent witness to her pain. But this was not the end of Dami's story. It was only the beginning. Dami had always been a dreamer. Growing up in a small village in Nigeria, she was known as the banker girl because of her love for numbers and her dream of working in a big city bank. Her parents, farmers who toiled day and night, often said she was their greatest hope. But tragedy struck when a truck driver, drunk and reckless, veered off the road and collided with her parents' small motorcycle. In an instant, Dami became an orphan, her dreams hanging by a thread. Her uncle, a cruel and selfish man, reluctantly took her in, treating her like an unpaid servant. Despite this, Dami held on to her dream. School became her sanctuary, and numbers became her escape. Her teachers noticed her brilliance. Among them, Mr. Okoro, Mr. Bayo, and Mr. Khalad often praised her for her potential. But behind their smiles lay dark intentions. It started subtly, a hand lingering too long on her shoulder, compliments that felt unsettling, offers to stay late for extra lessons. Dami, naive and desperate to succeed, accepted their attention as kindness. She believed these men were guiding her towards her dreams. One fateful evening, under the guise of helping her prepare for an important exam, Mr. Okoro asked her to stay after class. She hesitated but eventually agreed. The other 2 teachers appeared shortly after, their presence unnerving her. They locked the door, their friendly masks slipping to reveal sinister grins. What happened next was a nightmare. The 3 men overpowered her, ignoring her cries for help. When they were done, they left her trembling on the floor, warning her to stay silent or face humiliation. Dami walked home in the rain that night, the storm outside no match for the turmoil within her. Her dreams felt distant, her spirit crushed. For weeks, Dami avoided school, haunted by the trauma. The village whispered about her absence, but no one dared ask questions. Her uncle, oblivious to her pain, berated her for being lazy. One day, an older woman in the village, Mama F, noticed Dami's vacant eyes. Mama F was known for her wisdom and strength, a survivor of many battles life had thrown at her. She took Dami under her wing, teaching her that pain, though unbearable, could be a source of strength. "You are not broken, child," Mama F said one evening as they sat under a baobab tree. "The fire inside you still burns. You must let it roar." Inspired by Mama F's words, Dami began to rebuild herself. She returned to school, her silence replaced with a quiet determination. She avoided her attackers, but each time she saw them, her resolve grew stronger. Dami realized that staying silent only gave her attackers power. She began documenting everything, secret conversations, overheard confessions, and even the whispers of other girls who had suffered the same fate. She also sought the help of a local NGO run by young activists dedicated to fighting abuse in schools. Together, they devised a plan. Dami would gather undeniable evidence while the activists prepared a legal case. The annual school assembly was the perfect stage. Dami stood before the entire student body, teachers, and visiting parents. Her voice, once timid, now carried a strength that silenced the crowd. "I have been silent for too long," she began, her eyes scanning the room. "But today, I will speak. Not just for myself, but for every girl who has been hurt and silenced." As she recounted her experience, the crowd gasped. Some teachers shifted uncomfortably. Mr. Okoro, Mr. Bayo, and Mr. Collard sat frozen, their faces pale. Dammy then revealed the evidence, a hidden recorder, photographs, and testimonials from other victims. Chaos erupted. Parents demanded justice, students shouted in support, and the school principal called for order. The police, already informed by the NGO, arrived shortly after to arrest the three men. Months later, Dammy stood in front of a judge, her testimony leading to the conviction of her attackers. The case became a national story, sparking outrage and reforms to protect students from abuse. Dammy returned to school, her head held high. She graduated at the top of her class and earned a scholarship to study finance in Lagos. Years later, she became a successful banker, but she never forgot her roots. She founded an organization to support girls in rural areas, ensuring they had the education and protection they needed to thrive. The scars of her past remained, but they no longer defined her. Dammy was no longer a victim, she was a warrior, a voice for the voiceless, and a testament to the power of resilience.